Listen to me. I've got you. I won't let go.
Titanic is one of the coolest movies to go and see on a big screen. So many people that are already fans are going to see it again and see it differently. But there's also a new opportunity to a new generation, to a younger generation, to discover this movie. So how would you like these younger people to connect with this story?
Well, look, I think that people that are curious about Titanic, maybe the history about it, you know, the actual history, or people that are curious about the movie Titanic and this love story that they've heard about, or maybe they've seen it on streaming, you know, the opportunity to see it in a theater is unique. It only comes along once in a long time. And like you said, there's going to be a whole bunch of young, you know, possible fans out there that haven't ever had a chance in their life to see it in a movie theater. And I think if you think about how we live our lives now, we're multitasking. We got a lot of screens going on. We're doing a lot of things simultaneously, parallel processing. We're taking in our content from streaming services. We don't usually make a decision to sit and watch a 3-hour and 15-minute movie without some breaks or something else to do, or get up and eat, or maybe distribute it over a couple of days, you know what I mean, to break it up or whatever. And so we're not fully experiencing what an emotional journey like Titanic can be. So when you go to see it in a movie theater, yes, it's big, it's bright, it's loud, it's beautiful, all that sort of thing, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that decision that you make to go to that theater with your friends, to share something that you know is going to be an extraordinary experience or an emotional experience, to share that together with each other, kind of reality check each other, right? But also to kind of reality check yourself and say, is this going to hit me that hard? Because you're giving yourself to the movie for 3 hours and 15 minutes. And we don't do that, right? We don't do that. I mean, you watch anything, I don't care what it is. I mean, whatever shows you like or whatever movies you like, we don't watch that way anymore. And so I think people want that experience, maybe not for every movie that comes along, but maybe for certain films. And Titanic is that kind of film, right? So that's why I'm happy to make that available in theaters around the world now for people your age that probably haven't had a chance to see it in a theater.
This movie is that kind of movie that has bring a lot to pop culture, to the history of cinema, from the dialogues to the iconic scenes to the score. There are many things that are like collective now.
You know, let's not forget the score. James Horner's beautiful score. I think it's his best score. I'm a little biased, but I think he's done a lot of beautiful scores, but I think it's his best score. It's certainly the one that had the greatest impact in the world. I got to watch him conduct the London Symphony Orchestra at Albert Hall in 2012, doing the score of Titanic, and oh man, it was just spectacular. Just the power of the music and such a celebration of him and his creativity. So when I look back at the film now, I look at all the things that had to align to make it the movie that it was. You know, I can take credit for a lot of it, but I can't take credit for that incredible alignment of the planets, of Kate and Leo, and getting to go and film the wreck, and talking James Horner into doing it, and then the themes that he wrote for it. And then Celine comes along in post-production and does this amazing song, which James Horner wrote. People forget that he also created that song, and just how it just all turned into this thing that was greater than even the sum of the parts. You know, and I'm still kind of amazed by all that, because it was such an intense, very frenzied period of my life. We did the whole thing in 18 months, which sounds like a long time, until you do an Avatar movie that takes 4 years, you know. And we realized how fast we were making decisions and how crazy everything was, and trying to hit that schedule. And then you stand back, and when the dust clears, all of a sudden it's 25 years later, and people still, you know, want to line up to see this movie.
Talking about the Avatar, The Way of Water, recently the movie was released, and in this new movie there are many references to Titanic.
Yes.
Were these references intentional, or maybe they come naturally in the process of The Way of Water?
I think it comes more naturally. I think that's the best explanation. You know, the example that I give is Martin Scorsese likes to do gangster movies. I don't think you know, one of his later gangster movies is actually a reference to an earlier gangster movie. I think it's really just him doing the things that he knows and likes. So I like the ocean. I like shipwrecks. I like sinking ships. I think it's a dramatic place to be. It's a place I could imagine myself, but certainly would never want to be. And trying to create some jeopardy for the Sully family in a movie that's about the ocean against an enemy that's using technology, meaning ships. It seemed like I just kind of found myself there. I don't think I was intentionally referencing Titanic. I just found myself converging. I think in science they call it convergent evolution, where you wind up with the same thing from different sources, right? But as I tell my crew, half jokingly, I've only ever had 2 or 3 good ideas. I just keep recycling them.